Hi guys, we in this video we're going to work on section 5-9. So please open your book to page 339. So the problem 1 is about transforming. So what is the equation? What is an equation of the graph of y equal x cubed under a vertical compression? So you have a various transforming in here. I'm going to write it down and then we're going to apply in the order. So the first one is under a vertical compression by factor of half. And then followed by a reflection across to the x-axis, and then horizon horizontal translation three to the right, and then you have vertical translation two units up. Okay, so before we start problem 1, please look at in the middle of it. There you should know the form, which is this form. Y equals a f x minus h plus k. So this form contains all the transforming, which is about compression and translation and shifting. So here, my original form is y equal f of x. This minus h here is indicating horizontal shift. So h unit to the right or left. If you have a minus h, that means we are moving to the right. If you have a plus h, we are going to move to the left. And this plus k indicating vertical shift. So if you have a plus k, that means moves up. If you have a minus k, it moves down. So this k indicating vertical shift. And this a is about vertical compression. So you're having either compression or stretch. If you have your a is bigger than 1, that will be stretch. If your a is less than 1, that will be compression. And then you are having the reflection. So reflection, if your a is positive, if your a is negative, then it's gonna be reflection. So reflection across the x-axis and y-axis that applying to the different way. But if you have across to the x-axis, you are changing your a into negative. Okay, so it's gonna be easier when we are talking about within the question. I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. So the first one, I have a x to the third power, and now I have a vertical compression by a factor of 2. Because of that, I'm going to have y equal half x cubed. So you just write down half in front of x cubed. Now what? Reflection across the x-axis. So in this case, your half is gonna be the opposite sign, which is y equals negative half x cubed. Now what? You do the horizontal translation 3 to the right. So your negative half is gonna be stay. But your x minus h, which is in the parentheses, is gonna be changed. So if you are moving 3 to the right, we always do the opposite. If you move to the right, you are gonna have a minus. If you want to move to the left, you're going to have plus. So at this time, you want to move to the right, x is already there, minus 3 and cubed. So you just switch your x into the x minus 3. And then step 4, you add 2 because you are doing 2 up. That's your k part. So my final answer here, y equal negative half x minus 3 cubed plus 2. That's what we have to do. Alright, so I want you guys work on the got it one by yourself. Okay, got it 1. I'm on page 340. So what is the equation of the graph of y equal x cubed? First, under a vertical stretch by factor of 2. As I mentioned, if you have a number bigger than 1, you are going to stretch this graph. So according to my first, which is a vertical stretch by factor of 2. Now followed by horizontal translation 3 units to the left. So I can just do the 3 to the left. And my third one, then a vertical translation 4 units down. So 4 down. So from my first one, from x cubed, I would have y equals x 2 times x cubed. You just literally times 2 in front of it. Okay. Okay, now I have y equals 2 parentheses, right? 3 to the left. What did I say? If you want to move to the left, you are plus x plus 3, and then you had a cubed. Please put the cubed after. Now what? Y equals 2 times x plus 3 cubed. 4 down, minus 4. So let me summarize it one more time. If you want to move to the left, you are going to have x plus something. If you want to move to the right, you are going to do the x minus something. If you want to move for up or down, if you want to move up, you are going to plus k. If you're having, if you wanting to do the 4 down, you are going to do the minus 4, which is a minus k. All right. Okay, so let's move on to the page 340, problem 2. Okay, so the question is this: finding zeros of a transformed cubic function. So if a and h and k are real numbers, and a is not equal 0, how many distinct real zeros does y equal negative a times x minus h cubed plus k have? How can we find 0, guys? Y replace as a 0 because the 0 means an x-intercept. So I can rewrite my question as negative a times x minus h cubed plus k equals 0. Now how can I solve this question? Minus k each side. And I have negative a times x minus h cubed equal negative k. Now, what do I do? After. Divided by negative a each side, then I have x minus h cubed equal k over a. Now what? I wanted to get my x alone, but I have a cubed on it. You have to put the cube root each side. So once you put the cube root, we don't put the plus or negative in front of it. But if you are put the square root, we have to put the plus or negative, right? Because cube does not change your sign. Like negative 1 cubed is negative 1. So this time, x minus h is going to be left over. I have a cube root of k over a. Now what do? Plus h each side because I want you to get my x. So your x would be 3 cube root of k over a plus h. So disregarding multiplicity, the function has a single real zero, which is your question, or your answer should be b this time, which is 1. This is the only answer. So your option, you have to choose b this time. Alright, so let's find out all the real zeros. 4 got it too. So please pause this video to work by yourself and then resume the video once you're done got it too. Got it too. I have the equation y equals 3 times x minus 1 cubed plus 6. We are looking for zeros, which is a find x-intercept. You are going to set up as y as 0. So 3 times x minus 1 cubed plus 6 equals 0. Now what? Minus 6 each side. And I have a 3 parentheses x minus 1 cubed equal negative 6. Now what? You divide it by 3 each side. Then you have x minus 1 cubed equal negative 2. Now what? Please put the cube root each side. Okay? Then you would have x minus 1 equal cube root of negative 2. Now what do? You're going to add 1 each side. And your x would be 1 plus cube root of negative 2. But here, when we look at the cube root of negative 2, I can rewrite this part as negative 1 times 2, isn't it? And think about it. Negative 1 cubed. Negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. So actually, negative 1 cubed equals negative 1. So I can rewrite this negative 1 as a negative 1 cubed and 2, which means I can cancel this one out to take negative out, and you are going to stay with the 2 inside. So my x is going to be changed into 1 minus cube root of 2. That is going to be my final answer. Okay, I hope this video helps you, and we're going to see in the next video. Bye.